The mailbox might hold more than just bills this month. For millions of Americans receiving Social Security and SSI benefits, there's news that could mean real relief at the grocery store, the pharmacy, and everywhere else where costs keep climbing higher. Something important has quietly changed in the government's calculation rooms, and it's about to show up in bank accounts across the nation. If you're receiving benefits or know someone who is, what you're about to learn could make a meaningful difference in how you plan your monthly budget. If this information helps you understand what's happening with your benefits, please like this video and subscribe to The Golden Money for more updates that matter to your financial well-being. When Dorothy Martinez from Phoenix opened her Social Security statement last month, she noticed something she hadn't seen in years: an increase that actually felt significant. At 73 years old, Dorothy has watched her fixed income struggle to keep pace with rising costs for everything from her heart medication to her weekly grocery trips. She's not alone in this experience. Across America, seniors and disabled individuals have been feeling the squeeze as everyday expenses have outpaced their benefit increases in recent years. The Social Security Administration has announced something that will bring relief to more than 72 million Americans. Social Security and Supplemental Security Income, SSI, benefits for more than 72.5 million Americans will increase 2.5% in 2025. This increase represents what the government calls a cost of living adjustment, or COLA, and it's designed to help benefits keep up with the rising cost of everyday necessities. To understand why this matters, let's think about what this means for people like Dorothy. The 2.5% increase will translate to an additional $49 for the average retiree, increasing the average monthly check from $1,927 to $1,976, according to the SSA. While $49 might not sound like a fortune, for someone living on a fixed income, it can mean the difference between choosing between medications and groceries, or being able to afford both. For married couples receiving Social Security, the news is even more encouraging. Married couples will see an average increase of $75, raising their monthly benefit to $3,089, up from $3,014. This additional $75 per month adds up to $900 over the course of a year, money that can help cover unexpected medical expenses, home repairs, or simply provide a little more breathing room in the monthly budget. The cost of living adjustment isn't just a number pulled from thin air. It's calculated based on something called the Consumer Price Index, which measures how much more expensive things have become compared to the previous year. The government looks at the prices of goods and services that people typically buy: food, housing, transportation, medical care, and other necessities. When these prices go up, benefits are supposed to go up too, helping to protect the purchasing power of people who depend on these payments. But Social Security isn't the only program seeing increases. The Supplemental Security Income program, which helps disabled individuals and seniors with very limited income and resources, is also getting a boost. The maximum monthly SSI payment for 2025 is $967 for an individual and $1,250 for a couple. For individuals, this represents an increase from the previous year's maximum of $943, while couples see their maximum benefit rise from $1,215 to $1,450. Consider the story of Michael Johnson, a 58-year-old who became disabled after a workplace accident 3 years ago. Michael receives SSI benefits because his disability prevents him from working, and he has very limited savings. The increase in his monthly payment might seem small to some, but for Michael, it means he can afford to keep his small apartment without having to choose between rent and food. Some states add extra money on top of the federal benefit, so your payments could be even higher depending on where you live. The timing of these increases is particularly important. Many seniors and disabled individuals have been struggling with inflation that seemed to hit everything at once: energy bills, food prices, medical costs, and housing expenses, all climbing at rates that outpaced their benefit increases in previous years. The 2025 adjustment comes at a time when many of these individuals were wondering how they would continue to make ends meet. What makes this year's increase particularly significant is that it comes after a period of higher inflation that many beneficiaries felt acutely. Unlike younger workers who might have the opportunity to ask for raises or find higher-paying jobs, people receiving Social Security and SSI benefits depend entirely on these annual adjustments to maintain their standard of living. When adjustments don't keep pace with real-world price increases, it means making difficult choices about basic necessities. The ripple effects of this increase extend beyond individual beneficiaries. Local businesses that serve senior communities, pharmacies, grocery stores, restaurants, and service providers often see increased activity when benefit payments rise. This is because people receiving these benefits typically spend their additional income immediately on necessities they may have been postponing or going without. For families caring for elderly relatives or disabled family members, this increase can also provide some relief. When benefit recipients have a little more financial breathing room, it often means less financial pressure on family members who have been helping to fill the gaps. Adult children who have been supplementing their parents' grocery bills or helping with medication costs might find that burden slightly reduced. However, it's important to understand that not everyone will see the same increase amount. The percentage increase is the same for everyone, but because it's calculated as a percentage of current benefits, people with higher benefit amounts will see larger dollar increases than those with smaller benefits. Someone receiving the maximum Social Security benefit will see a much larger dollar increase than someone receiving the minimum benefit, even though both receive the same percentage increase. There are also some important details about timing that beneficiaries should understand. The 2.5% cost of living adjustment, COLA, will begin with benefits payable to nearly 68 million Social Security beneficiaries in January 2025. This means that people should start seeing the increased amounts in their January payments, which typically arrive in early January for most beneficiaries. For those receiving both Social Security and SSI, the timing might be slightly different. SSI payments typically arrive on the first of the month, while Social Security payments arrive on different dates depending on the recipient's birth date and when they first began receiving benefits. Understanding these timing differences can help people plan their budgets accordingly. The increase also affects some related aspects of the Social Security system. The 2025 earnings limit for people under full retirement age all year is $23,400. This is important for people who are receiving Social Security benefits but are still working, as it determines how much they can earn before their benefits are reduced. Looking ahead, this adjustment represents more than just additional monthly income. It represents the government's recognition that the cost of living has indeed increased, and that benefit recipients deserve protection from inflation's effects on their financial security. For many recipients, this increase validates their experience of struggling with higher costs and provides some measure of relief. As we move into 2025, this benefit increase will touch the lives of millions of Americans in very real ways. It will help seniors afford their medications, allow disabled individuals to maintain their independence, and provide families with a little more financial stability. While the challenges of living on fixed incomes in an inflationary environment remain significant, this adjustment provides some measure of protection against those pressures. The story of Social Security and SSI benefits is ultimately a story about economic security for America's most vulnerable populations. These increases represent the system working as intended, providing a safety net that adjusts to economic realities and helps ensure that benefits retain their purchasing power over time. For millions of Americans, this news brings not just additional dollars, but also the peace of mind that comes with knowing their basic needs will be a little easier to meet in the coming year.